This conference will now be recorded.
You're okay.
Okay, I'm fairly new. This is my third week. Yeah, I'm on week 3 now, so I'm on overload. I'll be around, and if you want to just say hi on your way out, I'll be here. So.
All right, and she's going to be rattling off. You all maybe know that every year we have provider appreciation. See these lovely STEM goodies over here for our infant toddler classes. We have this cool little ball maze. This is part of what participants at the provider appreciation on April 30th are going to be getting. And Tamara's going to pull the raffle for those who participated today. Mary Brewster's got a lovely bucket. Woo-hoo. Let's see who's going to win the kit. All right. Now, you don't know anybody yet, so nobody can say you look. Perfect. Okay.
There's no name. Ticket number 1821679.
Can you introduce yourself to Ms. Frank? Who won?
I'm Lisa Woods. I work at Episcopal Children's Services. Yeah, and I'm a MOCO.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Wonderful. All right, we'll have this package for you at the end and you can take it home. So this is just a small little taste of what you guys have got to look forward to for those who sign up. Moving along, thank you so much, Ms. Tamara. I caught her first thing this morning. She had almost no choice. I'd like to introduce the other people in the room who are working for the Early Learning Coalition. I myself am Liliana Howard. For those of you who know me for a long time, you know you can call me Lily. I am the quality coordinator for professional development. And then we have Ms. Janet Honor.
Yes, I'm the quality law coordinator, handling program assessment, excuse my voice, and some monitors and contracts.
Yep. And back here, if you guys don't know her, you better know her quick. Mary Brewster, introduce yourself, Mary.
What's my extension, people? No. Mary Brewster, Provider Relations.
Thank you so much. And everybody knows Miss Marcy and Elizabeth, and I'm gonna give the, are there any partners online that had any partner updates they'd like to share?
I'm looking to see who's on.
No?
Not
Okay.
that I see right now.
In that case, I'm gonna give Marcy the floor to talk about some EOC updates.
Because we have a new CFO, I have been training. I was talking quite a bit. Couple of reminders as we're coming to the end of the year for reimbursement is, number one, if you are not looking back and making sure that all of your reclaims are completed, please make sure you do that, especially VPK. We will be doing end of class reconciliations May and June. So make sure all of the attendance has been submitted, that nothing's in rejected status throughout the year. Typically, you guys know you get 60 days to submit this information. VPK is a lot more crucial because it does change your end of reconciliation if you haven't completed any of their attendance throughout the year. I'm trying to give you big heads up about this so we're not in June trying to get through everything. With that being said, make sure you are still doing your terminations online. Remember, if you have a termination date, the last day that that child was here, and attendance has already been submitted, you will not be able to complete that termination online. You will have to do a withdrawal form through Blue Jeans. Trying to think of some of the extra things. Make sure your notes are uploaded to Blue Jeans to be able to claim additional absences above your 3 for school readiness. Those we are having some challenges on here lately. Make sure they're dated and the parents sign them. not just have the date of the child was out, but the date that the parent signed them. So you know how to reach my team, EFSMod at elc-marion.org. They are working hard to keep up with everything, registration fees, and all of those pieces. And we will be transitioning back to whatever normal may be.
I'll nod to that. All right, thank you so much, Marcy.
Not a problem.
Let's stop and see if we had any questions for Marcy. That was a lot of information. No, you good to move on?
Just annual reminders this time. I try to keep it easy.
Okay, so at this time, I'm going to move on. We're going to talk about school readiness updates with Janet Arn.
I'm gonna start off by, this is my natural voice, it's very soft. If you can't hear me, let me know and I'll do my best to speak up, okay? As you guys know, the 22-23 provider profiles, they're due at the end of this month, April 30th. When you're submitting your profile, please make sure to submit your private pay rate sheet and your E-Verify form. That is very important. If we do not have that, we're going to reject your profile. And then you're going to get an email from Ms. Mary Brewster, Dr. Linnea Price. And they will follow up with you, and they will let you know the reason why your profile is rejected, or if your profile has not been submitted, if it isn't complete, and congratulate you if your profile is active. Okay, we're going to move on to school readiness orientation. This year's school readiness orientation is going to be in person here at ELC.
I'm sorry, everybody, I'm gonna make you guys dizzy because I have to, the way we're displaying it, the way we have to display it, I have to kind of go back and forth between handouts and the agenda.
Okay.
So,
It is mandatory. It is here at ELC. It is very important that you know if you do not come to the provider orientation, we will not be able to initiate a contract with you, okay? So I want to give you guys some dates for the orientation. The first date is May 10th, that's Tuesday, from 6:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. And your second date is Wednesday, May 11th, from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. So those are the dates for your provider orientation for school readiness. We're going to move on to provider documentation. This is very important. Your supporting documents are very important for your contracts and your profile. We are seeing many providers not uploading their liability insurance, workers' comp insurance, your DCF license. We are seeing many providers wait sometimes months, and we're sending you reminders, emails to please upload those documents. A thing that you can do to help yourself is when Mary and Delaney send you your reminders, they send it monthly reminders leading up to your expired documents and weekly reminders as well when it gets really close. You can put a calendar reminder for yourself. You can make a note for yourself. With your liability insurance, if it is expired, you can have a chance of losing some income for that, okay? And we don't want that.
can I add something to that? Recently, we heard from DCF that they are experiencing a backlog in background screenings. I know you guys are surprised by that, right? So start these processes early. And the other thing that we've been hearing from providers is that they've been having a hard time getting their court documents from their insurance agents. So just like you guys, pretty much every industry is short-staffed. So we need to start our processes a little bit earlier so that you can get the stuff you need on time. So that's something we're all experiencing. We experience backlogs and background screenings a lot. So just know that that is a thing that still exists, and we have been well made aware by Wade Reynolds, who's over DCF now in Tallahassee. He said background screening is experiencing at minimum a 2-week delay, at minimum. So add that on top of what you already thought the delay was, right? 4 or 5 days. And then the other thing about in-person orientation dates, so you can come to either or option, okay? If you can't make it to one or the other, reach out to Janet directly, okay? But we really need to encourage you to try to come to one or the other.
Is there a link to register?
Not yet, so that's a great question. How you're gonna register, once we get done with this, we're gonna set it up in Acuity, just like we have for all the ARPA meetings you've been coming to. So those are specific links though, and the only people that need to come to one of these orientations are those that are interested in offering the school readiness program. So if you're VPK only, you don't have to worry about it unless we can talk you back into it. I'm all my chameleon eyes over here. But if you're only doing VPK, there will be a different orientation that you will have to attend. If you're doing school readiness and VPK, you'll have to come to one of each. And so we will send the links out through the constant contact that you're starting to get used to getting from us. So just watch for that. They'll be coming out pretty soon, probably within the next day or two. Okay?
Okay.
Thank you.
So the last thing I want to say is if you have a delay, notify my team so we can make a detailed note about that. If the insurance company is giving you a hard time with your board form, we can't contact that insurance company.
You have a question?
Yeah.
So it's not a question, it's not just background screening, it's actually like your credential renewal. So like I submitted stuff and it's taken a month for people to get their CDA renewed, and that everything's done online now, it's not paper
Well, it's
documents.
very important that we know that. So if we don't know, we don't know how to help.
Thank you for sharing that.
We can make a note about that so that, no reimbursement is withheld. Okay. Are there any other questions for us?
Are there any questions in the chat?
Alrighty.
All right, and the dates for orientation are in a handout in your packet that you have, just in case you need to refer to that. And we're going to be emailing a packet as well after the provider meeting for those of you online. I want to make sure that everybody has all the information they need readily available that they can refer to. So don't worry if you can't remember it all. We're going to get it out to you in a nice email blast. Okay, so moving on. Oh yeah, it's my turn.
Which documents you want me to pull from the screen?
Right now, I'm going to talk about the assessment period. If you could please bring up the VPK, the memo.
All right, close your eyes if you get dizzy. Here we go.
While she's pulling up the memo, I'm going to remind everyone who is a VPK provider, please, 30 days prior to the last day of your program, make sure you do the three assessments. 15 days, no later than 15 days after the last day of your program, those results need to be, who can tell me what system for 20 points? What's the beginning? What was the beginning? Bright Beginnings, yes, please. Put your assessment results into Bright Beginnings. Thank you so much for participating. 20 points all the way around. All right. If you are a top provider, please be sure to ensure that you reach out to us if you have any questions about completing your top professional development, whether you have what requirements you may have to meet, if you have questions about that. And so now, how many of you guys remember this? If you're a VPK provider, remember this lovely memo from DEL, Division of Early Learning. At the very bottom of the memo, it's on the second page.
Okay, here we go.
Right there, where it says additionally, right here. This is the part that I'm going to be referring to today. All right, it says Additionally, HB 419 includes the provision that states a private school administrator who holds a valid certificate in educational leadership issued by the Florida Department of Education satisfies the requirement for a pre-kindergarten director credential. This is the only other thing you could have other than a VPK director credential endorsement that qualifies you for VPK. The majority of people who are going to have this are in the Marion County Public School System. However, this needs to be on your DCF transcript. Here's how that happens. I need you guys to please submit proof of your educational leadership certificate to quality at elc-marion.org so that we can validate your certificate and send your information to DEL, who will then send it to DCF, and DCF will put it on your transfer.
So this only applies to those of you that hold this certificate. If you have the director credential with the VPK endorsement from a private center, you do not have to do this.
No, this
Okay.
is, I'm only talking to those who have this educational leadership certificate and are using it to be
So
a VPK director.
like our partners for Marion County Public Schools, Vicki, I see you're on. This is for you, girl. This is for all of your principals at your site and any of you in private school settings.
What's the name of it? Can you see if they're open? I'll just drive myself and go check out floors.
And this is due to May 27th. Okay,
Is there a orange on it?
me, equality at ELC.
Oh, we just send it to you?
Yes, I have to validate it. Send it to DEL. I will need it validated, and then if you can bring up the one that shows,
One after this one.
yes. Hold on.
My little mouse is not very loud. There you go. All right, we're gonna get dizzy again.
Oh, no. The information that I require that I have to give to DEL is your first and last name as it appears. Yeah, that's next. I'm gonna be talking about that next. Your first and last name as it appears on the DCF transcript, your DCF student ID, and your date of birth, and your email address as it is on the DCF registry.
You can find your student ID at the top of your transcript too. It's really easy to find.
Okay, now this is example, this is the reading endorsement competency 1. Again, the majority of people who are going to have this is probably in the public school system. Vicki, can you hear me? Now, there are several of you that probably may have taken a university course or college course that may also have this. The reading endorsement competency 1 does qualify to meet the 15-hour emergent literacy requirement for those who took this in a college. But you have to have done the coursework. You can't just have taken the exam and tested yourself out. You have to have done the coursework. In order to prove that you did this, you have to have a transcript. This is an example of what it looks like on the transcript. This also will need to be submitted to me, quality@elc-marion.org, so that I can validate it and it can get put on your DCF transcript. The information I need to go with this is your first and last name as it shows on your DCF transcript, the DCF registry email address that you use, and the DCF student ID number. Any questions? No. Okay. All right, we're going to continue moving along. We can give the example of the
Lily.
certificate. Yes.
So the ones who don't have that,
Mhm.
that are VPK directors, what all do they need to submit?
That's what I'm going to next.
Okay, great.
And Lily, one more time for those of us in the back.
Sure.
Email associated with your DCF transcript, DCF student ID, and what was the other third thing?
First and last name, please,
Ah,
as it
that'd be
appears on your DCF transcript.
And that's for all of us that got married after we started our journey through early childhood. Like mine still has my maiden name on it from years and years and years ago. And changing it has been an act of parting the seas, so I haven't done it.
Okay. All right. So some of you may have already heard from me. I've been talking about the 15-hour emergent literacy requirement probably since December at least.
Rolling again.
Yeah, we're fixing this roll. Watch your eyes. You can pass that. That's just an example of certificate in case somebody has a question. Right there. That's it, right there. Most of you who are BPK teachers and directors, you already have emergent literacy, language and vocabulary, and phonological awareness. But they were taken prior to when the standards were updated in 2018. So therefore, you're required to take the updated courses. For emergent literacy, you have to have of July. The language and vocabulary, your course has to have been taken after 2020 of July. In order for
2020.
yes. Sorry, I've got the webinar PowerPoint in my head. In order for it to qualify to go towards the emergent literacy requirement, phonological awareness has had a whole turnover. There is only one phonological awareness. This is an in-person training that is being held by Anna Gonzalez, who is our regional facilitator. Vicki, I need you to register. Register your people. Just a shout out. The way it works is there's 3 components. This first component is going to be in person with Anna Gonzalez on May 7th from 9:30 to 12:30. If you want an in-person training, here's your chance. You can register. I put the flyer in the handout. I will also be talking about this more in depth during our PD Talk podcast on Friday, if you scroll down a little bit more, this is the reference code to sign up for it through the DCF website.
Okay, you're making me scream.
Sorry, I'm making it. I'm sorry. I thought it was me shaking. Anyway, you have that option where you can do it in person, and then you do component 2 in your classroom, where you take one of the 4 activities and you do it in your classroom, and then you have the reflection, and Anna will give you a Zoom date and link during this in-person training for you to follow up for reflection 3.
Vicki said rest easy. She's coming to train their teachers this Thursday.
Awesome. I love you, Vicki. Glad to hear it. So that's how that works when you do it in person. For those of you who have done phonological awareness online, I have an option for you as well. You have not been forgotten. Can you scroll up to
Scroll up.
yeah, should be the phonological awareness component. No, I mean, like, keep going to the next. Should be the phonological awareness for Marion County practitioners. Yep, right there. Okay. So for one of the biggest complaints I've been getting is that there's not enough opportunities to register for reflection 3. But you have to have reflection 3 in order to get credit for phonological awareness for all 5 hours. So what I've done is I've worked with Anna Gonzalez, and April 27th from 12:30 to 1:30, you can register for component 3, but you have to send me a copy of your certificate showing that you completed component 1 and tell me what activity you completed in your classroom. And once you do that, as you know, Ms. Kelly, I believe I'm getting some of your guys' emails. I will give you back the code for reflection 3, because I have to verify that you're a Marion County teacher. Because this is a reflection component 3 that's just for Marion County teachers that Anna's doing for us. So that way they don't have to compete with the whole rest of the state to get their reflection 3 done. Any questions?
Are these instructions written down somewhere clearly?
Yes,
Step 1, step 2, step 3.
yes, this is it.
Okay.
And I can go into more detail during the PD Talk podcast on Friday.
This is just lead teachers, right?
Lead teachers and directors who are taking the phonological awareness to meet that 15-hour requirement.
And then can I ask, if you use your formal education as like your literacy component, and every 5 years you have to renew, Is it kind of like your staff credential where then you don't have to renew it if you have that formal education?
No, you have to renew every 5 years. The emergent literacy, you do have to renew one course every 5 years,
So even if you have that formal education piece?
even if you have that formal education. Now, if you happen to take an emergent literacy course as part of that, and you complete it, and you have a certificate, you can submit it.
And who knows, it may change within the next 5 years, just like it did this year. so.
Well, like your staff credential, if you have formal
Right.
education, you never have to renew.
Right, I have that same staff credential, I know what you're talking about, but where the emergent literacy courses are concerned, that's not what they have enrolled right now. They have, it's renewed, one course renewed every 5 years.
Would you shoot me an email on that? Will
Sure. I'd be happy to.
So we have a question, you, just clarifying, you have to retake the emergent literacy courses every 5 years, all of them, or just one?
Just one,
So you just have to have the 5-hour course renewed every 5?
yes. As it stands enrolled. And I'll be happy to send that out. As a matter of fact, when you look at your DCF transcript, and it shows yes or no, whether or not you completed the emergent literacy requirements, it has the expiration date 5 years from the date that you completed it. All right, moving on. Unless we have questions, we have questions? No, moving on. Okay. If you can go to our website, and I would like to show you guys a training that has opened up for registration. I'm very excited about this. I'm hoping that you guys will be too. Class observation, this,
Oh, can I pause you for just a second?
Yes.
If you're not getting our emails, this is where you sign up to get that constant contact reminders. We have some people that have been saying they're not getting our emails. We have moved to the constant contact platform for a lot of what we are sending out. Now, when we send the packet of information out, it will come from, probably from one of us directly out to everybody. But a lot of our reminders and all of our links for meetings are now going to constant contact. So you want to hit that little flower that I just scrolled past. See right here. I don't know if that's a flower, but I like it. It looks like a flower. So, all right, sorry about that, Lily.
it's okay. We have a feature on our website that has a calendar that is being utilized.
Sorry, I thought you wanted me to go to professional development.
So if you go to the calendar, you can go to professional development or you can go to the calendar. But I want to try to get you guys geared more towards the calendar. And if you go to May 21st, we have pre-K class 101. Yes. Yes. For class pre-K 101. I'm probably saying it backwards again. There goes my Spanish. Crazy.
Did I go too far? Am I-
Okay.
I can't see it on my screen, so I'm having to do it.
Scroll up a little bit. Scroll up. Scroll up.
Oh, yeah.
May
it's
is
back.
back that
I'm
way.
like, I'm not seeing it.
It's okay. And then scroll down.
Maybe, hold on.
And so it is virtual. It's 1 hour. It's from 2 in the afternoon to 3 o'clock in the afternoon on a Saturday. And again, it's only 1 hour.
Here it goes. Right here.
And you can click on it. And you can register. It's open for registration now. And we're going to go over the pre-K class tool to help our providers who offer pre-K to prepare and strengthen their class observation skills and help our teachers learn more about teacher best practices for student and teacher interactions. This is going to be informative and open for questions at the end as well. Help you guys get ready for those class observations, especially in BPK, where this may be your first time ever having a class observation. It will also go over the expectations of what happens when a person comes in and does an observation in your classroom. So please register for that.
We have a question and I'm not sure.
Is the link on the calendar?
It's-
When
yeah,
you
it's
click
like
the
if you
calendar, it
scroll
takes
down-
you right there.
Yeah, if you scroll down, there's the link.
Yeah, so if you click the actual, it'll take you right to being able to register. The question we have is if you're doing the face-to-face on May 7th, then how do you, the face-to-face for component 3?
Anna Gonzalez will give you a date for the Zoom link and the Zoom link. She'll give you a date for the reflection and the Zoom link.
So on May 7th, she's going to give
On May
everybody that
7th.
attends the date.
Yep.
Okay.
Yes,
Perfect.
ma'am. And guess what, guys? Look, you can put it on your calendar.
Yeah. I'll send you automatic reminders that way too. We live and die by those. They're-
Yep, all right. The last thing, if there's no other questions, last thing I'm gonna be talking about is the PD Talk podcast. Is 12:30 to 1:30. I will be sending out an invitation email with the agenda this afternoon for Friday. We are going to be featuring Miss Lasagna Waters
Water.
on our PD Talk podcast. She will be talking about trauma-informed care and some of the other professional opportunities that are coming up through the DCF training site. So I welcome you guys to be there, and we'll talk more about BPK requirements, credentials, and any other professional development opportunities and questions you guys may have.
I do want to add something for BPK providers. If you are getting ready to fill out your application for next year and you want to have advanced payment, we need to get that started right away. We don't recommend advanced payments. It's not the best and the easiest way to reconcile what you get paid. But we do have a handful of providers who are interested in that process. So we have to get you processed pretty soon here. And also summer BPK. Is there anybody that's doing summer BPK? We would like to finish getting your applications done pretty quick here so that we can get you advertised out, because we do have families looking for summer BPK. We know we have a few sites with the Marion County school system that is doing summer, so we want to upload that list. We put the list on our website every year so that parents know what their options are for summer. And we are really trying our hardest to get things out there quicker so that families can really make an informed decision. So if you're going to be doing summer BBK, you can work directly with Janet, Mary, Delania to finish that application and get that process.
Okay. And ARPA,
Awesome, thank you, Shay. Shay just said she's doing summer BBK.
all right.
And
Shay.
Ocala, Kid City Ocala is wonderful. So
Yay.
Janet will be connecting, her team will be connecting with you guys to make sure we get all that we need for that. Awesome. I'm gonna go back up to our agenda. All right, close your eyes so you don't get dizzy, everybody.
The next thing on our agenda is ARPA. The meetings are going to continue on Monday nights from 6 to 8 p.m. Through May. Is there anything you want to?
We're not doing it on Memorial Day, and we're not doing them, we're actually going through June. So we just put that up there yesterday, so Lily didn't know that.
I have an addition.
And Marcy has one more thing to talk about.
So anybody, with the exception of last night, who was here last night and attended and was approved, everybody prior to last night should be expecting their first payment in their bank account tomorrow.
Yay!
I don't know about you, I'd be happy if I was getting that.
So just a heads up, if something shows up, you will see. Like I said, caveat, last night did not get included because I had already started working on that prior to the meeting last night, but it all is taken care of. So once again, 30 days, within 30 days of your approved application is when your payments are. That's all I have. I thought it might be some good news. Some might.
Oh my gosh, are you kidding? We do the happy dance. This is gonna change a lot of our providers' lives. I just know it. And then in turn, it'll change a lot of our students' lives too. So looking forward to that positive child outcome. All right. Speaking of positivity, the last thing on our agenda is provider appreciation. I want to encourage you guys, it was sent out on March 30th and also on April 13th through Constant Contact, the registration for provider appreciation. It is at Painted with a Twist. Does anybody out here in virtual land know what Paint with a Twist is? And no, it's not the chubby checker twist. Anybody answer?
They just told me they were muted, but I think you can unmute yourself, I'm not sure.
All right, Paint with a Twist is where you can go and you can create artwork. You have an instructor who is guiding you through this creative process. And what we're going to be doing at Paint with a Twist is I'm going to be training on the importance of creativity in early childhood. Creativity through STEAM, science, technology, engineering, art, and math, which is why we have these lovely little doodads that are going to be given out that day. But you're also going to get to experience the joy of creativity by being able to do your own artwork and take it home with you. So this is a make and take. We will be providing water. Nothing else should be there but water.
No adult beverages. The twist you have to do after hours. That's not with the coalition.
However, if you want the opportunity to get the full experience, we are going to be raffling off one during each session, a free experience with Painted with a Twist. So if you come join us, I hope you sign up your teachers, help us show us their appreciation for all the hard work and all the craziness we've had to put up with. God knows how many years, but you know, definitely the last 3 years of COVID. Please register them. Presently at this time, I only have 19 in the morning and 9 in the afternoon sessions. So I'm really looking forward to those registrations. Yes.
How many from each site?
At this time, 2 is what I'm asking, 2 teachers, but if things don't pick up, Friday, I'm opening up to everybody. First come, first serve. Be warned.
We do that because there's limited space, and when we first started this, of course, we had no idea what COVID was going to do when we started planning this. So Painting with a Twist, this is the first time. Some of you guys have been with us for a long time. We've never been able to do something this interesting and cool. So I'd encourage you, send those teachers that don't ever get to do anything like this for themselves. Send those teachers, or do a raffle at your school. Maybe do a creative door, I don't know, decorate your door or turn your lesson plans in on time, I don't know. However you're gonna pick it, get creative. And really, this is a provider appreciation piece to say thank you to not just you all. We tell you guys thank you all the time because we know what you go through, but also your frontline staff. Those are the people that carry us through everything as well. And without them, we couldn't do what we do, you couldn't do what you do. And on top of this, so it's not just this Painting with a Twist. Yes, this is the experience and the professional development, but we're also going to be, Lily has been working really hard on kits that will be sent out to every provider. So even if you can't make it, if you're contracted with us for VPK or school readiness, she is working really hard to put together some thank you kits of materials.
And they're close to $1,000 each. That will be delivered to your site.
Yeah, so high value, hopefully there'll be things that you can really use. Some things.
May I interrupt?
Go ahead.
Okay. It's going to be outdoor equipment and craft supplies. I've been hearing a lot from you guys. We need more outdoor equipment. Our balls are flat and we need more craft supplies. So it's going to be craft supplies that maybe you normally wouldn't buy for yourselves because they're too expensive, but it's going to be craft supplies and art supplies and outdoor equipment. But I also wanted to tell you guys about provider appreciation. During the morning session, Cecil, your representative for family home child care providers, will be speaking. And you'll also get to meet Sarah Lancaster, who's going to pop in and say hi. And she'll also be popping in and say hi during the afternoon.
And who is she?
Sarah Lancaster is our brand new CEO, if you guys have not already heard. Roseanne is still here. She's still around, but Sarah Lancaster is officially our CEO. Miss Roseanne is helping her with the transition. And I think she's helping us transition too.
A lot of transitions.
Yes. And then during the afternoon session, Miss Arlene Hart from First Assembly. I'm looking at Jessica and she's giving me encouragement. Thank you, Jessica. Will be speaking on behalf of the religious exempt providers and expressing her appreciation. So those things to look forward to. Any questions?
None in the chat. We got through a lot of information in a really short amount of time today. So if you have any questions about anything, please reach out. Just a heads up, we did just submit a grant to Tallahassee for a workforce initiative grant. If we get that grant, it will, we will roll out a couple of new programs for you all. Hopefully we'll be doing it sooner rather than later. My goal is around the 1st of May, that I'll be able to send you information on something new that we're doing to try to help get you some more staff. I thank everybody that responded to my really quick survey. So we'll be doing a drawing for some a cool little educational item for your classroom for everybody that did that workforce survey for me. That was why I was trying to really beef up our application. And I was like, I need some current numbers, and I know that you guys want to respond because it's a huge need for you. We got a lot going on here, and just like you do. And if you need anything or help with anything, we know these VPK transition, especially with class, between class and the new education requirements. This is a big deal. We don't want you to be intimidated or feel like you don't have an answer. So please don't hesitate to reach out. Marcy?
Mention about the PPK, ESSR. For the assessment.
The tablets. Okay, yes. See, she uses the actual funding terminology that my brain cannot absorb. So when she says the ESSR, I'm like, what? BYOB, do all those things? I don't know. But so we were granted out of some of the funding. We were granted some funding to purchase for each VPK classroom. So those of you that have multiple classrooms, you'll each be getting a tablet, and did we go with 1 or 2 headphones?
Headphones. Well, we have for the sites that have smaller classrooms, you get 1. Sites that have multiple classrooms will get 2 tablets, and they will be getting headphones for each. We do have a little bit more money, so we are looking to get a second headphone with an adapter so the teacher can actually hear while the child is hearing.
Yeah,
So-
we tossed up a lot of things, and Marcy is our IT guru, so we tossed up a lot of options, but we do, those pieces of equipment are here. So when you come to your VPK orientations, I think we're gonna do those in June. Yes, so we'll be distributing those out. You're gonna sign off that you took them off our hands, and Marcy will be very happy because it will not be in our inventory. But we have them here, and you're gonna get those pieces, brand new pieces of equipment to use in your classroom for your VPK progressive monitoring, I guess is what it's called. More info on that to come. And I guess if you haven't heard, this is the last year you are doing the VPK assessment. This is the last year, and the kids that went to kindergarten. That wasn't sent from the heavens. We agree. Take the VPK assessment from our way of playing. But what it is, I told them they could. So the next couple, so that you. Other thing is, last time we checked, which is I think last fall, these meetings, they're offering it online. If it's not, let us know. You know, if you'd rather do, because we've been contemplating it too, because we actually have a lot of conflicts on Tuesday afternoons with the state stuff. So we're spreading ourselves in all different areas.
I muted everybody, including you.
That may not be a bad thing at this point. So do reach out, let us know what you think about stuff. If you think this is not a good time, or you think we could do better, or if you're willing to come in the evenings. We used to do a morning and an evening session, so people could come. Let us know, you know, I'm interested. So the question that we just got was, did VPK funding increase? And it did go up by a bit. I can't tell you right now what it is because we're still waiting, I think, for the governor to sign the budget. But a lot of senators came together and said, we got to do more for VPK, and so they did increase the base student allocation. So there will be more to come on that. Budget hasn't been signed yet, so it's hard to say.
Send that out once you know it.
Absolutely, yeah, because you guys will have to plan around that. Yeah, so absolutely, as soon as we know it. See, and that's the hard thing about talking about stuff like that, is until that man signs that paper, it doesn't matter what we tell you. But it is in the plan, and you know, I think we asked you guys a while back if you'd be willing to send a thank you note or even send one in here, and we will send it up, because a lot of people came together, a lot of representatives, senators, people that had a lot to say and are recognizing the efforts that you all are putting in. So they did increase the base student allocation. And we call that a BSA for VPK.
That's okay.
A lot of acronyms.
We have a couple of questions.
Okay.
So a lot of them, after the training started going by, couldn't hear about the assessments.
Okay.
Could repeat a little bit on that?
Sure. So with the assessments, we really don't have a lot to tell you that is, we don't know exactly what it's going to be. The state had to procure a new tool, and it's going to be called progressive monitoring, which is fantastic. That means it's going to track the children's growth from the time they step into your classrooms all the way through. There will be no more VPK assessment after this year. So if you need and I didn't say this earlier, if you need booklets for part 3, Mary put together a ton of stuff for our providers, like copies of the booklets. We're not going to be able to order additional materials at this point. But Mary did do a really good job. She put it together at the beginning of this year in case people just needed the booklet but didn't want to order the whole new kit. So we do have some of those in the back. You just want to reach out to quality. You need some?
No, we have extras.
You have extras too. Family Ties has extra too. So this is going to be the last year you do it. So it's really imperative though that you do it, because there are consequences tied in statute that we can't do anything about if you don't get those assessments in on time. They will carry over into your next contract, even with a new platform coming into play. So basically what I said is pay attention, come to the meetings. If these meetings aren't good, at a good time for you, let us know so we can start to explore some different options. What else? Anything else?
Somebody said something, outdoor equipment too, people. They don't necessarily need art and craft stuff, but outdoor equipment. So.
Yeah, and we did a survey a while ago to ask what's the best kind of stuff that we could provide to you that you're not necessarily putting in your budget to buy. A lot of people said art materials, because you go through them like water, right? So it's nice to have them, and if you're not using them, give them back and we'll put them out on the table, and the next time we have something here, you know, providers can come take them with you. We have a lot on Saturdays, a lot of trainings, and people go into the workroom and take stuff, which we do have some stuff up for grabs in there if you want to check before you leave today. What else? That's it.
That covers about everybody.
Yay! All right, you guys, have a great afternoon. Thank you for coming in today. It's so nice to see you all. And those of you online, it's nice to hear your plane and train go by. We'll see you guys next time, May 17th. Yes. So we've been kind of behind on getting them up on YouTube, but we're back on it now.
Yeah. So.